Elias Kinoti.
Next witness.
As the Council Chair, he will be examined by my learned friend, Mr. Boniface Mawira.
I, Father Kinoti Kiduri, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you.
Honorable Chair and Honorable Senators, for the record, my name is Meru Boniface Mawira, and I'll be leading this witness in his evidence. To enable the Honorable Chair and the committee follow-up, the witness statement for this particular witness is in the Assembly's documents, volume number 5, pages 14 to 21. And maybe before I proceed, Honorable Chair, can I get an indication as to the amount of time?
How much time do you want?
I think 20 minutes will be enough with this particular witness.
You had 40 minutes, which you had bargained for, and
Yes.
we shared amongst the three witnesses, which was 39 minutes, 13, 13, 13.
Yes.
We didn't use it very well. We have done 1 hour, 25. So I'll give you 20 minutes.
Very well.
And I'll give the cross-examining team 10 minutes.
Very well, Chair. I'll be able to conclude within that time. So, Father Elias Kinoti,
Council.
what do you do for a living?
Well, as my title reigns, I'm a priest, a Catholic priest, but I'm also a teacher in the university, Meru University, and I also am the parish priest of St. Rita Parish in Meru. I also am the chairman of all the priests, religious sisters and brothers in the Diocese of Meru. In addition to the Open Society, I have been a member of the MYS for the last 2 years since it was inaugurated. And
What is MYS in full?
Meru Youth Service, that is.
So you've been a board member of the Meru Service, you
Yes,
confirm?
yes, and also a member of the budgeting forum in the county.
When were you appointed to the Meru Service Board?
It shouldn't be 2 years ago.
Okay.
The corona issue came in and the process slowed.
Are you aware, or rather, have you read the impeachment motion?
Yes, I have.
Are you aware, or rather you can inform the Honorable Chair in this committee, when the governor appointed a husband to the MOS board?
Should
When?
be September.
Okay.
And yeah,
Were you a member of the board?
I
Then.
still am.
Okay. I think, Honorable Chair, we will not be playing the annex. Annex 2 was played in the morning, and the transcript thereof is at page 50 to 52. So I think of volume 1 of the Assembly's documents. So I'll just proceed with the examination. So when the governor made this appointment, you confirmed that you are a member of the board.
Sure.
Where ordinarily, or who ordinarily would have the documents or the letters of appointment, or this particular letter of appointment for the governor's husband, who would have this letter?
According to the Meru Youth Service Act, the board recruits its own member staffs, and where need me, through the consultation with the Meru and the Meru County Public Service Board.
Okay. So, does the MOS board have a copy of this letter of appointment?
We don't have any. I've not seen any if there is. And we haven't had a meeting since before election, that is.
What happened on the 17th of October at the Igoji Boys Secondary School, the former Igoji Boys Secondary School?
Well, I was actually in class doing my normal lectures, and I saw a call from the bishop, which I have to pick any time, apart from probably when I'm in mass. And I excused myself from the class and took a walk and listened to the bishop. The bishop asked me whether I have time to go and have a briefing with the bishop or with the honorable governor on how the MYS came to be located at the Igoji Boys School, since I am a member of the board as well as a priest, and I was privy to both processes.
So, what happened specifically?
So once I told the bishop, it's fine, let me go and brief Excellency, I asked the bishop, is the meeting at our office or where is it? And the bishop told me the governor is going at the center. So I am to go to the center. It's quite far because I am on the other side of the town, that is in Meru, which is almost 40 to 45 kilometers to Igoji. So I picked my things from class and asked the students we could meet another time, drove to Igoji. On my way, I called the county secretary to be sure where we need to meet, where I need to meet the governor. And the county secretary told me the governor is going at the center. So I drove to Igoji. There were other two priests, Father Lawrence, who runs Ambonding Primary School right in the same premises, sharing the same piece of land with the MIS, but on different corners. And there was also the PA to the bishop, Father Patrick Misheni. So I also called Father Patrick to ask him, where are you guys and what can where do you need to meet? Then Father Lawrence also called me, asked me whether I can come to highlight exactly what transpired between the MIS and the land that the church seats its schools.
So, what attempts did you make to address these issues about the land with the governor? What attempts, when you arrived at the former Igoji Boys Secondary School, what attempts did you make?
Actually, long before I arrived, I asked the bishop, are we going to have a short brief meeting? I asked where the meeting will be. I asked the CS, the county secretary, whether there is a briefing or why we're going to have it. So in my knowledge, as I went with great goodwill, I knew that we'll have a short briefing with the bishop, with His Excellency, on the processes that are taken place between the MIS and the church on the premises. But on arrival, I was told that Her Excellency said she is not going to meet anybody in bond rooms. That is not a meeting, not an issue to be dealt with in the bond room. So I was a little confused. Do I go back? What do I do? Anyway, I went and sat. She had already started talking and doing cross-examining people every time. And then at some point, she asked, is there a member of the board? And I looked around, there was nobody. So I was compelled by wish to give some information to just say I'm around. And I went and standing, and she asked me what happened, that the land that belongs to the county was leased to the county by the diocese. And actually, I remember saying, that's a question that we would have dealt with in a more formal setting, because those are processes that happen in a formal setting. For me, I've always known that land to belong to the church, because according to the Trusts Act that is has been repealed now, occupation and the use over 60 years grants such rights to lease the land if one has used it. So that's my understanding.
What evidence do you have before this committee to show what transpired?
There is the video that was taken during
Chair,
that.
Honorable Chair, there is Annex 15, but because you are pressed for time, we will not be playing it. The transcript is on page 108 to 114 of the volume 1 the impeachment motion. The transcript is from page 108 114. So, in that video, what is the governor accusing the Catholic Church of?
Well, it was really disheartening because she accused us of being at a cartel. Actually, she mentioned the bishop. I think the term bishop may mean quite different things to different people. A Catholic bishop is not one of those guys you mention anywhere. You see, as not even a respondent, a very humble man. And we as priests and the Catholics there were taken aback as cartels. And she actually said that this is how your money has been stolen from the county. Meaning now this lease is illegal, the ownership of land is illegal, and there must have been a cartel that sat to decide, you know, this piece of land belongs to us and we can lease it and make money. In fact, leasing this land took us quite a long time as a board. We looked at Igembe and Tigania, and our argument was Igembe and Tigania do not have any government institution. As you know, a government institution benefits the local community, and we didn't want to put that institution particularly in Imenti. And it was not discrimination. It is a way of sharing resources for the community. So we looked around and we...
Honorable Chair.
Right.
I think that is enough. Honorable Chair, I want to refer the witness to volume 2 of the governor's documents, specifically at page 113, the lease. And maybe you can read aloud paragraph B on page 113.
The landlord has caused to be erected on the said plot a building known as Diocese of Meru, registered trustees, Igoji Boys School, here after referred to as the property.
Who is the landlord in this context?
It is the Diocese of Meru.
And the lease is between, who are the parties to the lease rather? Who are the parties to the lease?
Please come again.
Who are the parties to the lease? Or this lease is between who and who?
The Diocese of Meru and Meru County.
We can then turn to page... So, what facilities are available at the former Igoji Boys Secondary School and now the Meru Youth Service Center? What facilities?
There is a big building which is a dining where the youth eats. It was a high school. There are there is a dorm, a big one. There are office buildings which were classes, and we transformed them as MYS into offices.
Who developed these facilities?
The church has developed in the last 60 years.
Why has the county government been paying lease premiums to the Meru? Why has the county government been paying lease premiums to the Diocese of Meru?
Because of these facilities, and the church has used the land for the last 60 years, put its money there.
Okay. Honorable Chair, I will further refer the witness to page 137 of still volume 2 of the governor's documents. You can turn to page 137. The report from the office of the governor. Are you there?
Sure.
From the heading of that document, or rather the letterhead, from which office does that document emanate?
County government of Meru.
Okay. Which specific office?
The office of the governor.
Okay. Is the report dated?
No, I don't see a date anywhere.
You can turn to page, I think the last page of the document. You can turn to page 153, which has annexures, but the report ends at page 140. Is that report signed?
Sorry, which page? 153 or 140?
Check page 140 first. Because the rest are annexes to that report, Honorable Chair.
Council, I don't see any sign.
The report is not signed.
Yeah.
Can that report be safely relied upon by this committee to form an opinion?
It's difficult to rely on something that has no date, no signature, Honorable Chair. It couldn't be a Google document, couldn't be anything. So I'm not sure how reliable this would be.
Does that report, just by a mere cursory look, you can go through the document.
Yes.
On page 138, there is a heading there, I think, community grievances. Is there anywhere in the report where it captures the sentiments of the Catholic Diocese of Meru?
I don't see any council, and that could be a serious omission because the church has its own perspective.
Turn to page 139, where the governor proposes a way forward. You can read it aloud.
Governor to establish a task force to look into the issues raised by all actors and forward the report with recommendations. All actors to be involved and be part of the task force.
Who are the actors in this context?
Should be the Catholic Church, Diocese of Meru, the county, as well as the community, I want to believe.
But the report does not capture the sentiments of the Catholic Diocese.
Yes, that's left out.
Is the governor legally empowered? Or which public body is legally empowered to investigate allegations of grabbing of public land?
As far as I know, if I'm not wrong, is the National Land Commission. That's the one that deals with these issues.
So how would you describe the conduct of the governor in relation to the accusations of land grabbing against the Catholic Church?
Actually, the reason why I came as a witness is because of the abusive nature with which this was done. Not so much as who owns the land and who doesn't, because I think that doesn't rest in this petition. But I personally felt very humiliated. I felt very abused verbally. I felt my church belittled. I felt there was a possibility of civil unrest. In fact, I didn't stay until the end.
Give a few global examples.
Sorry?
Give a few global examples of cases where religious mobilization has led to civil strife.
Sure, you nice question. I felt that now as a Catholic and as a priest, I was put on a situation where I would be easily abused because I am part of a cartel. I am part of the stealing of county money, a county that I've been working with day and night. And I remember I woke up myself. I got to the two priests, being their chairperson. Although I wasn't there in that capacity, I was there as a member of the MIS, and I asked them, fathers, can we leave? And then the DCC, I think, came and told me, no, please don't leave. So by good luck, the county secretary called me because I told him I'm going. So I picked my phone and I went to receive it, and I didn't go back. And the reason was the governor and put emotions and passion into the people on a negative perspective, that we were there trying to protect something we had stolen. And the crown would not even allow to hear from us, from me. And it reminded me of issues of terrorism that the world is dealing with. Okay. This how it starts small like that. You put one group over the other. It reminded me, I teach government and development and ethics. One of the classes I teach is the causes of genocide. I remember the Rwanda. How it starts small with Alinda saying something. It reminded me cases, experiments of Pavlov, people who tested when authority says something. What is the likelihood of many people following? It's very possible because we have a big number of people whose education is low and literacy is low, and the hearing from Alinda that this group is now classified, is dehumanized. It's okay to hurt them. So these cases all over the world help us understand the way I felt. And the reason why I felt it is important for the nation to know, as a leader, one has to have boundaries on what you say in public.
Even assuming that you've said that this is not the forum to investigate questions of land grabbing by the Catholic Church, But even assuming that the governor was right in those allegations, would the governor's conduct be excused in light of the accusations against the Catholic Church?
You know, there is also something called the sin of calumny, saying the truth where is not intended, or where to put other people at risk. That's exactly what happened. Let's assume we are thieves. We have stolen the land. Do we deserve to be put at a risk of being attacked? Would you yourself want to be put in a situation where you can be attacked, where your faith is vilified because a few are thieves? I think there's a decorum for dealing with that.
Let us turn to the Honorable Chair.
Council, your
Maybe.
time is up, 20 minutes. I'll add
Just
you
2
3
minutes,
minutes
Chair.
to wind up.
Okay, 3 minutes. I'm very thankful. Let us turn to the issue of the appointment of the governor's husband to the Meru Youth Service Board. You've told this honorable committee and the chair that the appointment was made on 30th of September,
Yes.
and that the incident that happened at the Meru Youth Service Center was on the 17th of October. After the appointment,
Yes, they happened after.
had the governor's husband, prior to the meeting of 17th, visited the Meru Youth Service Center?
Sure, he did. And they came up with this idea that the land is grabbed by the diocese. So it seems he's doing very executive work, looking into the details of all that happened. While actually in the Meru Youth Service, there is no position as that. And if he is appointed from a point of probably CSR, it's understandable, but then I think that was slightly outside the mandate of such a office, which in itself does not exist in law.
I think that is all for this witness, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. The attorneys for the governor, cross-examine.
Thank you, Chair.